The basics of the armor are basically an artificer, obviously, that has been spending their energy and expertise on typically one just mecha suit of armor. And not in terms of size, but just some like really intricate and really magical suit of armor that they wear around in order to be stronger, to be tougher, to be faster, to be stealthier, to be better in all ways, especially in magical ways.
Yes, they are the master craftsmen of making sick armors. The armors of the whole D&D universe was probably made by one, a god, or two, a armorer. So,
Yeah.
that's kind of like the basics of the armor. You're basically, given its name, good with armor. Now let's go into the lore. So, in our previous episodes of the Artificer lore, Artificers have a very big role in the Forgotten Realms. They made engines, they made all of these like contraptions, they made nuclear type of weapons, they made,
They are the technology.
rocket launcher. They are technology, yes. They make all these weapons. And some artificers were like, how do we combat with these weapons? Advanced weapons. We make some advanced armor, baby. So we get some defenses up. So shields, armor. Because when the king saw his foot soldiers getting like lit up and blown to pieces, and his knights got torn to shreds by missiles, he's like, I wish my knights were beefier. The artificer, I can help with that. So this is where the armor comes in. The armors, they specialize in making armors for kings, very high magical beings, even like other creatures, and they get paid very well for doing it. So that's kind of all the lore there is. No nuclear devastation, Yeah, they make really good armors for kings and stuff.
Yeah, good armors.
Yeah.
I mean, the lore with artificers is always like, how do they affect the world that they're in? And it's always to some capacity based on what they make.
Mm-hmm.
So how does the armor that they make affect the world that they're in? Well, armorers happen to be one of the most selfish of the artificers.
Yeah.
They kind of make things for themselves, so they don't really have a big impact on the world around them. So the lore is tiny. Not much at all. They just don't do much. But they completely fit into the fantasy setting. I know artificers are the toughest to fit in, but they totally fit in. Because all an armorer is doing is combining magic with armor, which is completely doable. And so you get to skin that however you'd like to skin that. If you skin it like Tony Stark, it's going to be a little harder to fit into a fantasy setting. But if you skin it as someone who's wearing like a knight suit of armor that also can channel lightning through the metal, then now you have something that completely makes sense. If you can channel lightning through your body like a wizard can, why can't you channel it through your suit of armor?
Exactly.
So, Same way. Same
Indeed.
logic.
Yes, indeed. So that's pretty much the lore. How about we get to some of the role-playing this, some little ideas to give you guys. Yeah. So I got, for strength, if you're very high in strength, I just imagine you're kind of like this hulking, like Goliath-looking, like, Goliath suit of armor. Yeah, the mountain.
Like when he fights the Viper.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you not only are impenetrable, but you're also just huge.
Yeah, you're basically just like a tank. You're crush things tank with your hands, and you pummel things with your weapons, and no one can really get through your vast amounts of armor. You're a huge knight. That's what I kind of like envision.
Yeah, and if you are good in strength, and this also goes for constitution, I think they kind of go together, you're going to be going with more of a guardian style armor, which we'll get into what that means in a second. But basically, as an armorer, you get to kind of pick your style.
Right.
And so if you're high in strength, high in con, you're probably going to role play things as more of like, I have armor and I'm using it to block. You know what I mean? As opposed to using it to do little magical stuff.
Right. So I kind of envision like a Templar type of, crusading knight type of armor. That's what I kinda like.
Which is cool because artificers typically do not do that at all. Like, this is probably the only subclass where, like, the artificer themselves is jumping into the front lines.
Indeed.
Yeah. Dexterity is the next one. Dexterity, I imagine, to be kind of like a sleek look, like maybe just a breastplate. Something like that.
Indeed, kind of like an Arabic immortal type of look. Maybe like ninja.
Oh my gosh, we said the
man.
same thing at the same time.
You think the same thing all the time, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, maybe some like maybe you got like curved swords. You know, I kind of imagine a very dexterous. Well, of course, dexterity, but very limiting armor. I guess not a lot of armor, but you know, there could be very dexterous people with heavy armor on. So
Like Wasp.
Yeah, you know, kind of like that.
Iron Man, it's Wasp.
Yeah, maybe it's
or
like
Ant-Man.
Wasp. Or Ant-Man.
Kind
yeah, I don't think they shrink though.
Yeah, they don't shrink, but yeah.
Unless you go with Rune Knight.
Yes, or if you went with a fairy?
Oh God.
And then had the armor like activated.
Actually, that's true.
Would it shrink with you?
I think it does. It totally does.
Wow. You're little Wasp right there.
We just discovered Wasp. Booyah.
Sweet.
Boom.
I don't know why we're trying to fit non-fantasy things into fantasy setting.
Hey, technically on Disney Plus, every Marvel movie has fantasy on it.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, okay.
It's stupid.
But
I think
not
that it is.
Middle Ages. Anyway, I don't know.
Oh.
It's a homebrew setting. Whatever. Dexterity, yeah. You're going to roleplay a little differently.
Yeah, you're a little.
Obviously.
Your armor look is probably a little more sleek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very tight, not baggy or bulky.
Yeah, I think they get the point.
Yeah,
I think we're saying pretty obvious things
here. Yeah. Next one is intelligence. I'm not really sure.
There's always going to be high intelligence.
Yeah, high intelligence. You're always going to be really high in intelligence. I imagine like a brain helmet. You know, I'm just kidding. No, I mean you can. But for intelligence, you know, you're kind of like you're very crafty with machines and armor. You're an armorer, so you know what parts of armor is. Like, you know what a gauntlet is, or like the chest plate. Maybe like the shin guards.
Yeah, but I mean, every artificer is going to be high intelligence, so I think it's all the other things that give the flavor.
Yeah.
So wisdom is the other one. I don't know. If you have high wisdom, like I think you're pretty normal. But if you have low wisdom, you could roleplay it to be like your armor is defective a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you shoot the wrong stuff, or like your armor speaks in your head, like target. Dangerous. It's like no, it's not.
You're a piece of junk. And as you hit your metal, you're like, "What are you doing?" Like, hold on, give me 1 second. As you just start punching your armor. Yeah. I don't think your armor's senti though. I guess you could do that for
why not?
Though. Why not? The lastly is charisma. Be Tony Stark. Just be a butthole, but also great at the same time. Just be a total bum.
Yeah, be extremely wealthy.
Extremely wealthy.
Confident in your abilities.
Selfish. Think you're the best. But in deep down...
And then your arc can be you become like a good father and a family man, and you sacrifice yourself for the greater good.
You're a hero, yeah. You know, high charisma, you're very diplomatic. You're like, let's not kill each other, guys. There's probably a solution. Or you can just absolutely intimidate people. You can go full-on Batman sound and say, vengeance, as you totally, beat the crap out of them.
Well, you're like Rhodey now. Yep, Iron Man's War Machine.
Right. But, I mean...
Yeah, he's more like he was charismatic, but in like a good way.
I guess so, yeah.
Like he wasn't a jerk. Anyway,
but you can definitely go Batman. Totally. Batman has armor.
Yeah,
Batman.
You could go Batman.
Yeah.
But in general, I think when it comes to role playing in armor, no matter what your stats are, your armor is gonna be like your baby, or I guess your life's work.
Your child.
Because it's like, it's your entire thing as a character. It's like you spend your whole life like learning how to basically make this piece of armor, and now you have it. And so kind of like a stereotypical teenager with like a nice car or something, or even more extreme.
Yeah, you could probably flex on like every blacksmith that you walk by. It's like, oh, look at that. Some nice plate armor.
Does it do this?
Does it retract? Yeah. Oh, what? How about this? If is your arm cut off, I can just have my armor be my arm.
Yeah.
And then the blacksmith just looks just like, frick you, man. And then you just leave. Yeah.
Yep.
But that kind of wraps up role playing.
No, it doesn't.
Unless you have I was about to say unless you have anything else. All right.
One more thing. So when it comes to the armor subclass, other Artificer subclasses are more giving. So you have infusions as an Artificer, which we've talked about. And those infusions, you're kind of expected to give to other people sometimes.
Not with the armor.
Yeah.
You're a selfish bum that takes it all to themselves to
right.
make your armor even better.
Well, when it comes to role-playing, when it comes to optimization, which we'll get to, it does benefit you to kind of give yourself your infusions. So if you want to make more sense, you could role play your armor as a more selfish person. Because it makes a lot of sense in the other classes to like give your barbarian a magical axe. It's like you might as well. But if you, as an armorer, you have so many options in what you can infuse that you might as well use all of them on yourself. So if you're a little bit more selfish, then it justifies you giving it to yourself in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sort of.
Yeah. Is that all?
That is all.
Are you done?
Fine. I'm done.
All right. Now we're going to speed run through the stats.
I'll begin.
Okay.
Spells. Okay, spells. At 3rd level, you get Magic Missile and Thunder Wave.
Cool.
So boom and boom.
Cool. Boom and boom, baby.
At 5th level, you get Mirror Image and Shatter.
Ooh.
Not boom and boom.
You make a mirror and then you shatter it.
It's like Halo, where you do the clone. And then the clone just runs in a certain direction.
Yes.
You run the other way.
And then they shatter.
Yes. At 9th level, you get Hypnotic Pattern.
Which is interesting.
And Lightning Bolt.
I don't really understand the hypnotic pattern, but please continue.
Okay. At 13th level, you get Fire Shield and Greater Invisibility.
You can become Predator, baby.
Which is awesome.
More Predator.
Pretty much. And then at 17th level, you get your last 2 spells, which are Pass Wall and Wall of Force.
So pretty. Exactly. Pretty cool stuff. You know, you could just stop armies with the Wall of Force. So pretty good.
You could.
So, this is the other one. You also get proficiency. So you get, obviously, proficiency in heavy armor. It would be sad if you didn't.
So we're talking 3rd level now. So at 3rd level,
so this third level, you gain proficiency in heavy armor and smith's tools or any artisan tools.
If you've already got Smith's
tools. If you already have Smith's tools. So you can get another thing.
You have to have Smith's tools. If you don't have Smith's tools, you can't do most of your abilities.
And you're not armor, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, sad. Yeah.
Unless your armor's made of wood.
Yes.
That makes no sense.
The next thing is the whole point of the armor is your arcane godlike armor. Your armor ignores any strength requirement, so you could be the weakest guy there, but still put some on some plate armor, baby.
Yeah, but let me explain. So, like, this ability is called Arcane Armor that you get at 3rd level, and it basically means you can take a mundane piece of or suit of armor and activate it as an action. And when you activate it, you get the following benefits. The first one being what you said. There is no strength requirement anymore.
Yes, which is really nice. Your armor can also be your spell focus, which is really cool. I think that's sick. I just envision you shoot a fireball, but it comes out like your chest or something, you know?
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you know, it's really cool, yeah. Really cool stuff. It also can't be removed against your will. I'm not sure how you do that with normal armor, but alright. And you can also, for a touch of flavor in role-playing, you can retract and put up your helmet as a bonus action if you have a helmet. Also
Iron Man.
Yeah, also Iron Man, basically. Also, let's say you got your legs chopped off, you're serving the war. Your armor can be your legs, be your arms, and be your torso.
Yeah.
You could just be a head, theoretically.
You could.
You could.
Well, not really, because it's not giving you organs, but...
Hey.
Yeah.
Could be giving you magic energy. I don't know. You know, all undead, they just die. Yeah, we're all dying here. We're all sick. All right, we're trying to give you the best. But, yeah, that's kind of...
Well, yeah. So, yeah, it expands over your entire body when it comes on. So, normal armor might have gaps or whatever. This armor has no gaps.
So, it's literally Iron Man. It's basically Iron Man.
Yeah, and it covers even missing limbs and acts as those limbs. So, yeah, that's Arcane Armor. The last thing you get at 3rd level is you get to choose your armor model. And this can be changed after a short or long rest at any time, but it just comes with the armor. You get to pick, when you activate it, which model you're activating. So there's 2 options. 2 official options, but of course you can always make more homebrew.
Oh, yeah.
But the first one is Guardian, which in a basic sense allows you to deal melee damage very well.
You become a frontline fighter, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
You also get temporary hit points to kind of make up for probably your hit point lacking.
It's an overshield. It's literally an overshield.
It's overshields. And then you also get abilities very similar to taunting, where you grant creatures disadvantage on attacking anything but you. So you're really made to be taking the damage.
When you punch them, that is. Yeah. So you don't really use weapons. You punch things to death, which is awesome.
Real steel style.
Theoretically, if you multi-class into Paladin, this is the only way you can smite with an unarmed attack. So I just imagine your hand, it glows a bright yellow, and you do like an uppercut, and you just, it'll be so good.
Perfect. Yes. Okay, the other model you can choose from, which I prefer, is the Infiltrator model. And this one has basically repulsors. It can shoot out of its fists lightning.
Awesome.
And that lightning can do different things as you level up. It's also just faster. You'll move faster in this armor.
A little bit by 5 feet, but yeah.
And then it gives you advantage on stealth, assuming that you don't already have disadvantage, depending on the type.
Yeah, so if you're wearing plate armor, it's kind of clinky. It produces a damping field that makes you very quiet. So
yeah,
it's pretty nice.
So this is the ninja version. But it is cool because the repulsors, like you can be all ninja-like and then shoot from afar with your repulsors.
Which is really cool. I really like armor, yeah. At 5th level, you can attack again. That's all you get.
That is all you get, but that's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
An Artificer.
You can just beat things to death, yes.
Yeah. So you get an extra attack.
At awesome.
9th level, you get something called armor modification. And this is when you can get kind of crazy. So your armor before 9th level is just one armor. It is all one big piece. But at this point, you actually can segment your armor to be chest plate, legs, helmet, arm, stuff like that. And each one is separate, which is important because it means you can infuse each one separately. So you can give your chest plate a different ability than your arm plate or your helmet. And that allows you to have a lot of powers with your armor and why you typically want to keep your infusions.
Which is awesome. Boots of flying.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Exactly. And you also get to infuse more items. You get 2 extra, which does incentivize you giving a few away. But yeah, that's 9th level. And then the last step here is 15th level. Do you want to go into that?
Could you?
I'll go into it. Perfected armor is what it's called. And basically, it just adds a little bit more to each of the models that you can pick from. So in Guardian, it basically gives you a tractor beam. You can like create a field that pulls people towards you, and that's good because you want people to attack you as a Guardian.
So you can basically make a scorpion. You throw like the tractor beam. Get over here! Uppercut! Yes. Boom!
Exactly.
Basically. Oh, so good.
Yeah, and they have to make a strength save and all that. An Infiltrator.
Can you do like huge creatures so you could do that just to a giant?
No, I think it's a certain size.
I thought it's huge to small.
Oh, it might be. No, it's a certain size. Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, that would be grabbing a giant, pulling him over, break his knees with your hands. Man.
Yeah.
Real
but they get to make a strength save, so.
Yeah.
Infiltrator, though, one gets basically the ability to grant disadvantage by lighting up a target. So when it shoots with its repulsors, I'm calling, like it lights them up, it kind of like blinds them, they get disadvantage, and then you get advantage on them, plus you deal more damage. So that's a big bonus right there.
Yeah, really good, really nice, yeah.
And that's all the stats. So, in general, it's just a bunch of stuff your armor gets.
It's really, really good. Because I think we also forgot to say this, but you can switch between the Infiltrator and Guardian.
I said.
Oh, you did
every short and long rest.
Yeah, you said, yeah. So, it's really good. Like, if you're in a dungeon, you're like, all right, guys, let's just take a short rest because, it's all stealth. You can, switch. Or if it's heavy combat, turn to Guardian. So
yeah, the only time is if you get ambushed and it's like, oh, you're stuck with what you got. But even the Infiltrator is pretty good.
It is still good. You are very good. This is probably the best Artificer subclass.
When it comes to combat?
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. It all depends on the party, I think.
It really does, yeah. But,
this
armor.
More typical. This, if you want to not be a support and you want to, just be your own fighter, maybe you're the only player or there's not a lot of players and you can't rely on other people, this is the one to go with. You're self-sufficient here.
Yeah, very true.
All right, let's talk optimization.
So, as we said, You can be by yourself. You're not really the support, but you can also be a support if you wanted to. But yes, the armor is very strong by itself and with a team. So you're doing very good. So you could be a frontline fighter or the stealthy range character. Very versatile as the Artificer is. But you're probably wondering, well, what races should I be if you wanted to, do the best with the armor? You could be any race, though, so don't worry. But normally the highly intelligent elves, gnomes, maybe halflings for the stealthiness. If you want faster characters, maybe go with the Anakakra, Tabaxi. You could fly. That's kind of really good if you could fly.
True.
For the infiltrator. Other stuff like that, yeah. So
and because you kind of God, you don't have to be strong, then
Yeah, you can literally go like halfling or any race.
But
really.
Arakakras are pretty weak.
They are weak,
but that's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining like armor on your wings, so it's like Wonder Woman, I guess.
Oh yeah,
which is cool.
Or like that movie, the Gods of Egypt,
right.
Horus. They were all metal. It was pretty cool. That was kind of a bad movie though, but it was cool. Very cool movie.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously you're gonna want high intelligence. But I should say, especially because you can use intelligence for attacks, with the subclass, which is perfect. But even so, Constitution is probably a good idea because you are more of a fighter. So you're going to want higher con, and Dex is another one if you want to be. It just kind of depends. Are you going to go more Guardian or more Infiltrator? Whichever one you pick, I would put con or Dex higher than the other. Other thing is, in-game, but also when you're creating your character, try to get a good suit of armor. If that means spending extra gold on your armor,
do it. Or
not taking as much starting gold to get equipment in terms of your armor. That's a good idea. And I would also get Thieves' Tools if you can. As an infiltrator, Thieves' Tools will be helpful. Okay. The last thing I have to say in optimization is there are some feats that could be very helpful. When it comes to Artificer, I do think you want to avoid feats until you can get your intelligence as high as possible.
Of course.
But these feats wouldn't be bad to look into. I won't get into all of them, but I'll just name them out there so you can look into them if you're creating an Artificer. First one is the Tough feat. Makes you tougher.
Gives you more health.
Yeah, which is good as a tank. Another one is Heavy Armor Master. That makes complete sense for this class. Another one is Mobile. And the last one is Sentinel. These are all feats I recommend looking into. I won't get into what they all do, but they're all pretty.
They're all
when
really.
When you read them, you'll realize why. Okay. Do you have any more things optimization wise?
No, actually, no. That was pretty good.
Okay.
Good run down. Yeah.
All right. Fun facts and extra ideas.
So there aren't really a lot of fun facts about the armor but some extra ideas. I think you could give more to like the Guardian and the Infiltrator. Maybe you could give the Guardian like a fist slam. You hit on the ground, does like a.
Well, it's got Thunder Wave, so.
Yeah,
So you're good.
I guess so, but like I don't know, just a little one. Or you can like grapple better or something like that. Because you're like Terminator, super strong. And with the Infiltrator, you should get like your arm turns into like a lockpick or something. You can like kind of like the droid or RTD2, kind of like just open stuff.
Yeah,
that'd
be
kind of cool. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Homebrew some spells.
Or you can make whole separate new armors. Like maybe you want like totally ranged. You just blow things to Kingdom Come with missiles and stuff like that. Or you like want an underwater armor where you're really good underwater.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Really cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, my extra idea is a character concept. And it's a handicapped character. Like maybe you're in a wheelchair.
You got the battle wheelchair.
Yeah, basically something like that.
Oh.
But like in this case, you can be, because when it comes to everything but combat, like it doesn't really matter if you are handicapped or not. But when it comes to combat, it's like, the mechanics get a little messed up if you like don't have legs or something.
Right.
But in this case, the armor like makes you able to do what anyone else could do. So that'd be a cool way if that was something someone was interested in playing. This would be a good class for that. I've never seen it done.
No, that would be really interesting.
Yes.
Yes.